Hello and welcome back to SurelecTV. First of all, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's continued to watch the content I've been uploading. It's nice to see my subscriber count gradually increasing. So yeah, thanks for everyone's comments, likes, subscriptions. Yeah, it's really appreciated. Obviously I'll continue to post the content, make the content for as long as it's enjoyed and made the most of, really. Once people stop enjoying it and no one's making any use of it, I'll probably stop it. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. So for the foreseeable future, I will be uploading and hopefully you'll enjoy all the content to come. So anyhow, on to this week's video. So you may have remembered on last week's upload where I done the forklift charger install, I mentioned at the end that I'd probably do a video on me uploading the electrical installation certificate to the NICEIC online certification website for you all to see. So basically all I'm going to do today is walk you through, or I say walk you through, show you the complete website basically. How it's worked, how some things are easy, a few gripes I've got with it. Yeah, just so everyone gets a general idea what it's like, because obviously depending on what scheme you're with, whether it be Stroma, Alexa, Napit, they're all going to be different, so I think it might be nice for most people to see what the other schemes offer or what they don't offer maybe. So yeah, I've had a look online and there isn't too many videos out there which actually show the full kind of website, how it's used, any tips or anything like that. There is some out there but not a great deal. So hopefully this helps some people out as well at the same time. So obviously I only installed one circuit last week for the forklift charger, so I thought this would be a nice simple one to walk you through and show you how it's done basically. So yeah, I've got the setup ready behind me, got the laptop, got the test sheet, got my diary, it's got a few little notes in there, and most importantly my glass of orange squash. So I've got my test certificate there, it has all got the address on that page, so hopefully, I don't actually know how to do it yet, but hopefully I'm going to blur all that out and you won't be able to see it, and yeah, blah. So yeah, keep watching and I'm going to show you through the whole certificate input basically. Right, so let's get going. You wouldn't believe how long it's actually taken me to get all this set up. I don't know if you can see on here, but the screens on these MacBooks are so reflective. Yeah, it's been a bit of a pain, but anyhow, so first things first, we want to go online, NICEIC and that's the certification. So we're going to go on here, enter in our login details, and that will log us straight in hopefully. There we go. So it's quite a simple kind of bit of software. I keep saying software, but it's just a website, so it's quite a nice user face, shall we say. So on here you get all your previous Part P notifications. On the right hand side over here you get all your recently edited certificates. Invoices due, so basically every time you submit a certificate, I believe the cost is £1, and then notification or Part P notification over here is £3 for each notification, but each notification can include 3 different things. So you could have in one notification a fuse board change, a rewire, or an additional circuit, for example. So first things first, what you need to do is go up to the top over here and click on certificate. That will bring up all your previous certificates, all the ones you've done. So you can basically, if you click on a little dot over here, you can edit them if you need to. You can click on the PDF, dispatch the certificate so you can get it resent in the post, or you can do a duplicate certificate. The duplicate works quite well if you're doing a lot of, say, EICRs in flats, where generally the fuse boards are all the same, the incoming supply is all the same, it's just the address details and the test results you've got to change, so that saves a bit of time. So today we're doing a new certificate, so we're going to go up here to create a certificate, click on that, and when you do that you get a complete list of all the certificates available to us. As you can see, there's a wide range to choose from. They're colour coded, so all the red ones are ones that will be for the approved contractor scheme. Obviously, if you're an approved contractor, you can also issue the domestic installer certificates as well, and they're in like a slightly lighter purpley colour. So today what we need to look for is electrical installation condition report, which is this one here, IPN4. The reason for that one is obviously we're doing a commercial property, so we don't need the domestic installation certificate, which is that one there, DCN7. So all you need to do is click on electrical installation certificate, and that will bring up it straight away, hopefully. So the first page as such is this client installation client and the installation details. So that's basically all the gibberish. I'm probably going to edit this bit out where I'm in the client details, because you don't really need to see that, but yeah. Once you've edited the details, all you're going to have is the bit at the bottom, details of the installation. So this bit's about describing exactly what work you've done. So in here, or as you're probably aware, last week I installed a forklift charger, so all I'm going to write in this section is installation of 10 amp 3-phase radial circuit to fork lift charger in warehouse. You're gonna have to excuse some of my spelling in this. I get a bit carried away and don't even look at what I'm typing. Fork lift charger in warehouse, there we go. So that's basically the general description. So installation of 10 amp 3-phase radial circuit to forklift charger in warehouse, and we'll put only at the end just to clarify that. It's a new installation, so once you click on new, that will automatically get rid of the an addition or alteration selections. You can click them as well if you need to, but generally it's either one or the other. So once you've done that, you literally just click next. This system was in fact TNCS. I'll probably upload a little picture somewhere here showing the main cutout. Now the main cutout and meter isn't actually installed in the warehouse, it's on a main, because it was a big kind of site. That is really inconvenient, isn't it? That's my girlfriend, by the way. We'll decline that. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the main cutout and the meter is installed in a main kind of site cupboard for all the other warehouses. So that's basically just run from there via a big switch, isolator, via SWA, and then straight to the warehouse where we worked at. So that was a 3-phase 4-wire supply, AC or DC, you get the option of there. Other, please say. Now you should never leave blank fields on this installation certificate, because obviously that leaves it open for people to alter, basically. 3-pole, other again is NA. Now a nominal voltage. So nominal voltage is basically, in layman's term, the voltage between all live conductors. So in this case, because it's 3-phase, is 400 volts. UO is the voltage basically to earth, which any phase conductor to earth should give us 230 volts plus or minus. Nominal frequency in the UK is 50 hertz. Prospective fault current in this situation, now you'll see on the certificate, let me just get it up. This is the bit we're filling in at the moment. Nature of supply parameters, so we've got 400, 230, 50 hertz. Prospective fault current and the earth fault, external earth fault loop impedance I've put down as a limitation. Obviously if you watched the last video, I was unable to isolate the actual board I was working on, so it was impossible for me to disconnect the main earth and get the true reading, so that was a limitation. Number of sources, there is only one source. There's no solar PV on site, nothing like that, any generators, so there is just the one incoming supply. Characteristics of the primary supply over current device. Again, on our test certificate, it's literally just this bit here. So we had 1361 fuses installed, type 2 or B. They were rated at 100 amps and the short circuit capacity of them was 33 kA. Now I'll do another little picture of the cutout that I took somewhere over here, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm on about. So again, pretty simple. You click on the bit here, and that'll, or as soon as you click that, give you a drop down of all the possible fuses, breakers, isolators you could think of, basically. So you want to look for BS1361. I think I may have gone past it. Here we go. So you've got either the option of type 1 or type 2. In this situation we're type 2. That automatically puts in what type it was in that field. Rated current, like I said, was 100 amps. Short circuit capacity gives you already the option of 16 or 33. In this case it was 33. Confirmation of supply parity, supply polarity. We'll give that a tick because that was correct. Next, so this is part 2. Means of earthing was the distributor's facility. No installation earth electrode in this installation. So this whole complete next section is about the earth electrode on site, if applicable. So it wasn't applicable. So we're going to literally NA all of them, just like so, because they don't apply to us. So like I said, all them boxes are now filled in with something, not left blank. It's not good practice to leave blank. Right, now we're on to the main switch, fuse, circuit breaker or RCD. So this applies to the fuse board or the distribution board we were working on, the big 3-phase board. So the incoming breaker on that was literally just a 60947-3 isolator, which you can see I've made a note of again. Just here, so we've got the 609473 number of poles. It was actually a 4-pole isolator, so it also isolates the neutral. Supply conductor material was copper, 25mm. Voltage rating of the switch 400 volts. The rated current 125 amps, and then the next 3 little inputs are to do with the RCD operating current. So if that main switch was an RCD also, we put the 1x trip current there. Oh no, we'd do the the 1x trip current there, operating time at 1x, rated time delay all along there, but that only applies if the main switch is an RCD. So to relay all that information on here, you may have just seen I've already selected that. So again, as soon as you click on it, you get a drop down with all the potential main switches, fuses and isolators. It was a 60947-3 isolator, so literally select that. Voltage rating 400 volts. I mean, you can either type in the correct input, or you literally just select either one of these and that will change it straight away. That was 4-pole. Rated current. Now in this case we don't actually get the option for 125 amps, strange enough, so all we do is literally input 125 and that will put it in. Supply conductor material, copper. Supply conductor cross-sectional area is 25. Here's the bits regarding the RCD, so we'll literally NA all 3 of those. Next is the earthing and protective bonding conductors. So conductor material is copper, and the main incoming earth was actually SWA. It's fed from the SWA, so we literally just enter SWA in there. Connection continuity verified. That is indeed verified. Now we're on to the main protective bonding, copper, and that was 10mm in this case. Now the only bonding I got was structural steel, because the incoming water main wasn't bonded, but that was just because it was a polythene incoming supply, so theoretically it doesn't need to be bonded. So the only bonding, like I said, was to the structural steel. So I proved that by just literally putting my probe across from the earth terminal and a fly-on lead to the structural steel, which is quite easy to access in the warehouse. So obviously down here you get the ticks with regards to exactly what one it is. Oh, I don't know why I've ticked that, because we haven't got any of them. We've just got structural steel. Again, tick or NA. Make sure you're putting an NA in any of the blank fields. Now the next slot is the tick sheets and the inspections. Obviously you only base this on the actual circuit you've installed by kind of this first section, which relates to the meter and the distributor's earthing arrangement. So that you relate to just that bit, and then the rest is purely on the circuit you've installed. So I'm not going to run through all of this really, because otherwise I'll be here all day. So yeah, now it's going to be one of them little fast forward bits. Right, so I've now completed all the tick sheet input and the inspection input. So all we're going to do is press next, and then that then brings us on to the circuit details and test results. So this is basically inputting all of this data, or say all of this one circuit that we've tested. So first of all, we'll obviously input all the circuit details, the type of wiring, reference method, number of points served, conductor size, breaker, protective device, BSEN number, amperage, etc, etc. And then we'll put in the test results for that circuit. Now you may have noticed, obviously because this is a three-phase circuit, I've just put on here 1, 2 and 3, and then marked the middle one with our actual details, but I'll show you when we come to that on here how it's put in. So you notice in the top left hand corner here you get this little highlighted title saying origin of supply. So in this case our distribution board we connected to was connected to the origin of supply. It wasn't a sub board or anything like that. So what we're going to do is right click on there, and then you get this nice little drop down. Oh, I didn't want to do that, just delete that. You get this nice little drop down, and then you can select any one of these little options. Now what we want to do is create a three-phase board. So you literally just click on that. That will create the board below, directly below, and you can call that whatever you want to basically. So the fuse board is in the office of the warehouse, so I'm just going to call it Office DB. Now just above here you get 3 little tabs: circuit details, test results, or board details. So the circuit details in this case is literally just the designation or board name. If this was a remote board or a sub board, then you get the option to put in the test results, but because this one is connected directly to the origin, there's no need for that. So we won't click that one, but we're going to click board details, and that brings us with a lot more data to enter. So location of the board, consumer unit, is in the office cleaners cupboard. Circuit board notes, we haven't got any circuit board notes to make on this installation, so we're just going to write none. Other type of wiring, no other type of wiring was used, we literally just used SWA, so just a single type, so NA in there. Now below is where you enter your test equipment serial number, or the equipment you used to perform the tests of your installation. So in my case I literally just use my Fluke multifunction tester. So all you do is go to the little drop down, and in that drop down you literally just click your test meter. Now if you had a few meters you used for certain things, maybe you had just a meter that done RCD testing, if you click that, you'd obviously on your account settings pre-insert or pre-input the information regarding that tester. So when you click this, it'd come up with your other tester, and you can literally just select it, or whatever one you need to select. So that's quite handy. Obviously again, don't want to leave any blank fields. We don't want to leave any blank fields, so just NA in any of them, like so. And then at the bottom of this page we get the tester. This is just basically a signature to say that I'm the person responsible for the test. So you literally click that little green button there. That will come up with my pre-installed signature, the date, and then my name in capitals below, and then another little box at the bottom which says position. You might be the supervisor, you might be apprentice, whatever you are, you enter that in there, but I'm literally just going to type in electrician. So that's that bit done. Now you don't want to click next until you've uploaded your circuit. So again, where it says Office DB, that little distribution board we created, you right click on that, and then you then get the option again with all these drop downs to select whatever you want to do. Now we want to add one three-phase way, so you get L1, L2 and L3. So we create way, and that'll bring below our three-phase way there. So what you want to do again is, getting a bit carried away there, you want to merge phases. Right click on any of the phases and literally just press merge phases, and that should merge all of that together. So now we've got one three-phase circuit. So once you click on that, you then get the option to input the circuit details or the test results. This is where we enter all the information we've recorded. So the circuit board or the circuit designation was forklift. I spelled that wrong again, getting good at that. Charger. Enter, or whatever you want to do. Click the next one. Type of wiring was SWA, thermoplastic, so that's F. Reference method, clip direct, so that's C. Again, this is quite handy, all being dropped down, you get to choose whatever it is. Number of points served, so we are literally just serving the forklift charger, 1 point serve, or the isolator, whatever you want to class it as. Circuit conductors are 2.5. You can obviously select from a drop down, sometimes it's just as quick to type it in. Maximum disconnection time in this situation was 0.4 seconds. Obviously it's below 32 amps. Overcurrent protective device for the circuit was a 60898 MCB, and that was a D-type. The reason for it being a D-type, because the forklift charger is basically a inverter. There's a high inrush current, so you don't want to be putting in a B or a C, because it'll probably take it out straight away as soon as it fires up. So that's basically the reason for a D. Obviously the rating of that was 10 amps because it was 9.5 amps per phase. Short circuit capacity of this one was 10 kA, sorry. It wasn't an RCD, or it's not an RCD, so we select from the drop down not applicable, and below it automatically gives us our maximum ZS permitted by BS7671. So obviously we did install a D-type breaker, and we do need to ensure that that ZS is below there, otherwise the D-type breaker isn't any good, and then you start having to think about other options. But yeah, there's quite a lot involved with that, so I won't go into detail. So once you've entered all the circuit details, you can either click test results, or once you've done that you can click test results down the bottom here, which makes sense. As I mentioned, it's not a ring, so we don't need to put our end-to-end readings there. Our R1, R2, so we go back to reference our test sheet, not that page. I've stapled these the wrong way around, so bear with me. So our R1, R2 recorded was 0.34. 0.34. No R2 recorded. Line to line, so now our insulation resistance, so our full insulation resistance tests on all the conductors, so between the lines, or the phases to neutral, lines to neutral, lines to earth, and then neutral to earth. They were all clear. Now the fluke meter I used displays greater than 500 mega ohms, so I literally put in exactly what my meter says. So because I've put in greater than 500 mega ohms, it does say above here, please enter a numeric value. The only valid numeric values are NA and lim, but obviously it still lets you input that. I just like to put the little greater sign because that is exactly what my meter comes up with. Right, next bit of data we need to input is maximum measured earth fault loop impedance. That was recorded at 0.72 for this circuit. So that's just banged in there, and that does fall well within our max ZS permitted for our overcurrent protective device. Next input is RCD operating times. Again, no RCDs, so we NA both of them. Next bit is our confirmation of either test button operation. That only applies to RCD, so obviously we'll NA that. Polarity was proved correct, so we give that a tick. So now that's our circuit details and test results all inputted. You can go back just to see whether you have done them properly, haven't missed any. Once you've done that, you can now click the next red button. That'll bring you on to the next section. So comments on the existing installation. So if maybe you're at a premises where there's a bit of dodgy wiring in other parts of the building, or there's not something you're overly happy with somewhere else within the install, this is the place to put it. In this case, it was a pretty new install all around, so nothing really that we're too concerned about or needs to be put on here. Next inspection due. So this is commercial premises, so it's 5 years. You literally just type that in there. Next again, and then next bit is your personal or organisation's details. So when you start this account, or you get your NICEIC account and you create your profile for this software, you get the option to upload your independent logo, which will be displayed on all the certificates you ever issue. You can remove that if you want to and just put ignore the independent logo, and your logo won't be put on there. But in this case, we're going to put it on there. So below, it already comes up with our NICEIC enrolment number. Branch number is not applicable. And then below, you get all your design. So whoever completed the design of the installation, the construction, inspection and testing, or if you did complete the complete lot, the design, the construction, inspection and testing, so basically you were responsible for the whole install, this is the one you need to complete. So again, the work was completed to BS 7671 Amendment 3 2015, obviously soon to be the 18th edition. There was no departures from BS 761, so we'll just select none. Details of permitted sections applied, NA. Didn't need a risk assessment, so NA. Total number of extra pages additional to this certificate, there isn't any, so again NA. And then all we do is again click the green little tab, and that will automatically input our signature and today's date. Now, because obviously I'm the QS as well, I am on my QS profile, so that lets me edit all the certificates I create, sign them all off. So again, just click the green tab and that will put my signature and sign it off for me. So this one's for the design of the installation. We don't actually need to complete that one because again, we've completed this one up here which covers all of them. So we literally just scroll past them. I know that contradicts before what I said about leaving blank fields, but this isn't too crucial in that department because I've obviously already accounted for them in this above statement as such. So cruise past them all the way to the bottom and click next again. And now this is the part where you get to attach. So if you have maybe seen something a bit suspect on the existing installation, you can attach PDFs or images to this bit here if you need to. But again, in this case, we don't need to. We don't need to type anything in there because if you do type something in there, that gets added on as an extra page, and we don't need to do that. So next again, and when it decides to finish, that's just, well, basically if it notices anything you haven't or you've missed when filling out the report, it will let you know at the end. So it comes up with a summary and problems. So the summary of the certificate is just the details of the certificate, and then the problems, so client name, client postcode, client address, client postcode, etc, etc. Obviously I didn't want to show you them, so I haven't put them in, so I'll go back and do them. Once that's done and you've edited them, you get the option to complete certificate. So I'm now going to go back and fill them in and show you exactly what happens when you complete the certificate. So I've just gone through and rectified those last little bits, and I'm now completely happy that everything is correct. Every field is got or has got something inserted, whether it be an NA or a reading or a bit of information. So I'm happy now to complete the certificate. So literally just complete the button. Before you finalise, I'll just read what it says. So once you finalise the certificate, a NICEIC certificate number will be added. The certificate will be available for further editing. Will be unavailable for further editing. Sorry. So like I stated at the start, it says you will be billed £1 once you finalise. In brackets, building control charges will be calculated once you notify. So that was what I was saying in regards to the £3 notification charges. Because this isn't a domestic dwelling and it's a commercial install, we don't need to notify building control of this work, so we're going to untick that box, click finalise, and that will finalise our certificate. And now in our existing certificates page, when we click certificates, it's now at the top with a little lock next to it. So that one is locked because it's completed. We can no longer edit that. If we wanted to change something, we'd then have to click that little select button there, and then go to this side, click the duplicate certificate, and then you get the option to copy all the field notes, all the board details, etc. if you need to, which is quite time saving if you have made a mistake. So yeah, there's a difference between a certificate that's not completed and a certificate that is. So you'll always get the padlock next to it saying it's completed if it is completed. So once it is completed, again, all you need to do is click the certificate or the PDF on the certificate you want to view, and now that is the final copy of that certificate with all the details. It's now been assigned a proper number, and that is complete. Right guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope you haven't found it too boring. I know it's not the most interesting video, there's not a lot going on, you've literally just stared at my laptop screen, so I do understand if you did find it boring, but hopefully a lot of people have found it beneficial. A bit of an insight into how the NICEIC works its certification software, and to people who do use it, maybe just seeing how someone else uses it always helps sometimes. So yeah, hopefully it's been beneficial and you've enjoyed it. Obviously I didn't go into too much detail on most of it really. You could spend ages talking about it, but trying to keep these videos short and sweet and nothing over 30 minutes really is quite hard sometimes. So hopefully it wasn't too vague and you got a good idea. As I mentioned just before, I got to this little screen now. If you have got any suggestions on-site software to use for certification on a tablet or iPad, for example, do let me know in the comments, or whether I should just bite the bullet and download the NICEIC app on an iPad, for example. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and just comment down below. So that's the end of this video. The usuals now really. Make sure you like this video. Comment down below anything you want, absolutely anything, I don't really care. I try and respond to most comments, so yeah, give me some thoughts, ideas for next week's video maybe, or future videos, yeah, all down below in the comments. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned, it's nice to see the subscribers going up, so it'd be good to keep them rocketing up, and hopefully we get some big numbers, which would be nice. Again, as always on all the videos, like my Facebook page, which is SurelecTV Electrical Limited. I post most of my kind of bigger jobs on there for all of you to see, so if you do want to see that, just give that a like on Facebook. So that's the end of this video. Sorry if it's dragged on a little bit, I do apologise, but yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next video. So see you later guys, and take care, bye bye.